right, just a few flubs in there. With all this talk of Zendrives and the Dumble and the Robben Ford rig rundown and all that stuff, I thought I would talk a little bit about my history with this sound, which goes all the way back to probably 2001, and why it's my favorite, I don't know, chewy overdrive sound, the thing that I always have kind of gravitated towards. I don't use a Zendrive. I did have a early version 1 Zendrive as soon as they came out. Unfortunately, I had to sell that when times got a little bit hard in my first couple years of playing. But I wanted to show you something that kind of changed my life. So this right here is Robben Ford's Blue Moon. And this came out, I think, in 2001. 2002. Okay, so 2002, this came out. This is actually a signed copy that I got from a student of mine. And I heard something that I had never really heard before. And in one of the first songs, he goes... And I heard that little trail at the end. And it kind of really got me going on doing slapback delays and that type of thing. So if you don't know, Robben Ford has used, for the majority of his career, a TC Electronics 2290. And this has been set to 116 milliseconds with 1.5 repeats. And, you know, as a teenager or whatever, I didn't know how to get that. So I started experimenting with what I had available, which was, you know, like the Boss DD3, and then I started getting into analog delays. They were a little bit warmer. They had a little bit more character as far as I was concerned, and I started using those. So what I have right now is I have just a basic like MXR carbon copy analog delay, and I know that's a little bit longer than 116 milliseconds, but ever since I started messing around with analog delay units, so I think I started off with a Maxon unit, actually. It was a 8900, and then I went to like the 89. I started getting into vintage Ibanez, like 89s and that type of thing. Basically, the whole idea is to come up with this like short slapback sound that I could add to my playing, and I still do it to this day. You know, on my main studio board and gigging board, I have a DD500. I have one slapback set to 116, one set to 150. You know, I just kind of use different ones for various things. But the board I'm using right now actually is not my studio board. I actually have 3 things on this board. Okay, I have a tuner, of course, and then I have the Barber burn unit, which I'll talk about in a moment, and then the MXR carbon copy. And I have that set to probably 140, 150 milliseconds. And one of the things that I like about the burn unit for the sound, more so than the Zendrive, is its ability to mate with other amplifiers. So there are 2 little switches on the burn unit, and one of them controls the mid-range character. So you can get a flat mid-range, you can get a slight boost to the mid-range, which is what I'm using right now. I'm playing a car sportsman, essentially imagine a Princeton reverb mixed with a Tweed Deluxe. So, and I love this amplifier. It's about 19 watts, 2 6v6s. So I don't need extra compression with this type of circuit. I just have it on the middle setting there, and I don't need a lot of extra mid-range because it's kind of Tweed based. So I just kind of have that in the mid setting. But if I play deluxe reverb, you know, and I have to play, you know, I don't know, a low volume gig or something like that, you know, you're not going to get compression out of the deluxe reverb when it's on 2.5, and it doesn't have a lot of mid, so this pedal works for that as well. It works for any backline. And so I really found that this thing, you know, this little mini pedal board that I'm showing you is just kind of something that it's been a game changer for me. You can bring it anywhere you go, you plug it in with 9-volt power, and that little pedal will do everything. The other thing that's really important about the Robben Ford sound that I notice a lot of people don't get is that he is a bridge pickup player. So he uses the bridge pickup on, you know, all of his, you know, humbucker guitars as well as his Telecaster for his lead tone almost exclusively. And that's one of those important things that I see. You know, sometimes people don't think about those things, or maybe you're a blues player and you gravitate towards the neck pickup all the time, which no problem with that. But there's a lot of times where The bridge pickup is just a better idea, not only because it has more harmonics and because it has, quite frankly, a lot more interesting to listen to, but because it has, it just cuts through a lot better. So anyway, with that burn unit there, I have it, my amp is set clean, so if I'm doing and of course the analog delay is on. And I have the burn unit set to just the mid-range setting of both of those things. Just a little above unity gain. And I'm on the bridge pickup on, this is my 59 Custom Shop, new old stock, custom Telecaster, alder body, Alnico 5 pickups, and I have the tone rolled all the way up there. So, and this is kind of like my favorite lead tone. I've used this for years and years and years and years on tons of different records. I mean, going all the way back to my first blues record that I did with the band Night Rail in 2004, 2005. What was I using on that session? I was using, I think that was either my first Zendrive, a Maxon OD 820, or a Tonebone Classic, but they were all kind of set the same way, into a deluxe reverb, and just a little bit of slapback. So I just think that's just such a versatile sound. But anyway, so that's kind of the whole thing behind the Robben Ford thing. A lot of times I see people like talking about the Zendrive, and they're like, I don't know if this works for me, or I don't know if the burn unit works for me. I can't quite get that Robben Ford thing going. Bridge pickup, 116 milliseconds delay, or a little bit longer with slapback, and a slightly mid-boosted smooth overdrive will get you there. A couple things people don't realize about Robben. I mean, in the early 90s, when he had backline gear like the Red Knob Twins, he would use 2 tube screamers stacked, right? So, I mean, it has to do a lot with just, these other factors. It's not just the overdrive pedal. I've got great Robben Ford sounds from the Boss OD3. I've gotten great Robben Ford sounds from, of course, the Zendrive, Tonebone Classic, the Maxon OD 820. So anyway, one of the things that I find is so rewarding about this sound, especially with the burn unit, is its ability to clean up. So if I'm having, a lead sound, I can roll my volume down. I can't do that on my Mesa Boogie. I can't do that with a lot of other like distortion pedals, like clean up that way. It just sounds so great. So anyway, just my little bit of tone musings for a Monday morning. So, all right. Well, I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. And of course, I have my Patreon information in the description below. If you're interested in lessons or that type of thing, just reach out to me, send me an email, and we can get a specific practice plan all set up for you. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about modes. We're going to be talking about chord scales, arpeggios, triads. We're going to be talking about tensions. And then probably early July, I'm going to be unveiling a master practice plan so that all of you who are really analytical and you want a lot of documentation with your practice and you want to journal everything, you're going to be able to do that as well. So, all right. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great Monday. Peace.